Alright, so this is game number 7 in this best of 7 clan wars. This is the last game, ladies and gentlemen, so whoever wins the clan war. Pulse really pulling through for Team UR. RomanDragon now being the new guy for Team LaG, LaG Gaming. And we are back on Cloud Kingdom after that regame, and this time RomanDragon's going to be in the top right as the blue Zerg, and his opponent in the bottom left is going to be PulseRate. And I was talking about last time we were in the same situation about how Pulse played a very nice, clean ZVZ the first time he was out, so I expect that he's feeling pretty good. Now if I was in Roman's position, I would have seen that game and said, alright, he tested his mid game and some of his late game, but what about his early game? And I'd think about, just think about, maybe not do, going for an early Ling or Baneling war, pretty much. Now, it is Cloud Kingdom, so there actually haven't been that many non-two-player maps, 4, 3, whatever you want to call it. So they both know where each other are once again, so their overlord position is going to be pretty much perfect. They're going to see everything that comes their way. They're going to be very well aware of when they take their hatcheries and if there are any Lings or any drones mining. So pretty much it's going to be like Brood or ZVZ, where you just know everything your opponent is doing and you try and counter it. But not yet having any indication as to what they're going to do. Currently, actually, Pulse going for the 14 pool, while Roman's waiting for the 15 pool, it seems like. And a gas as well, so this is just the same opening that he did in the first time. Probably going to get a hatch. But this is just very, very, very safe to do. It's a little less economical, but just so safe. And oh, I take that back, I actually went for a 15 hatch, so that was my mistake. I thought I saw the numbers decreasing at the 200, but I did not. Getting a gas after that as well, so getting a little earlier gas than a typical 15 hatch might have, to go ahead and try and compete with the early speed of Pulse. Now, Pulse is going to be in a very secure position. He doesn't really have to worry about that much, while, unfortunately, Roman is the one who's kind of like, oh, I really hope he doesn't, 10 pull me right now, which should have happened a while ago. Well, a few seconds ago, anyways. He should have seen it, because the overlord positions, well, they are getting into position right now. Both of them actually going the same exact course, pretty much. Pulse sees the hatchery. This is his chance to decide, alright, he has a hatchery. I only have one, he's going to have two. Should I all in, or should I just try and come back? Now, he pulls all his guys off of gas, and he's going to send a drone out right now, so he's just going to go ahead and get the expansion. It doesn't stop the possibility of a Ling all in, but this overlord right here, until it is scared away by a queen, which it seems like it's already scared just by an overlord. This overlord is like, come on bro, I want a hug, and this one's like, no, that's a trap, you're going to kill me with a queen, which is probably true, but he should actually spread his overlords out more. This is kind of an odd way to do things, but that'll die if it goes on that path, so should definitely change that soon. Anyways, wow, she could get two overlords. Okay, good. Roman's actually paying attention. Only going to lose one, but still that's one that he really did not want to lose. He's making 4... No, he's not making any Lings. He's not going to try and save it. While Pulse is going to go ahead and... Oh, he's not going to get it. It's going to go over the... Well, it's going to... No, he just gives up. Alright, so Roman actually does save the Overlord with some clever maneuvering, which is great for him. He did not want to make a new Overlord at the beginning stages like this. But Pulse is getting a Baneling's Nest right... No, it's RomanDragon who's getting a Baneling's Nest right now. No gas yet for Pulse. So Pulse is going to stay on speeding for a very long time. He might just go straight up to Roaches and just skip the Baneling's Nest for a little while. While in return, RomanDragon, he was the one, the 15 hatch, so you kind of have to get a Baneling's Nest. And of course, he has seen all these Lings coming. Now, this seems to be all the Lings that Pulse wants to make. He did this in the first game, too, against a person who also 15 hatched. Luckily, though, RomanDragon actually has the queens in position. Last ZVZ that we saw with Pulse, his opponent did not have his queens in position, and he was able to get this around, so much better reaction from Roman. He knew it was coming with the Overlord, so very nice by him. Getting the Baneling's Nest pretty much just as a precaution, but he's also getting 16 Lings. In ZVZ, the reason it's such a weird matchup for some people is that you don't... usually when you make a Zerg get units, they're just like, oh, well, crap, now I have units I really can't, hit you with, because you have force fields, you have bunkers, you have building placement, etc., etc. In ZVZ, if you have units, you do damage. It's pretty much always a guarantee. Now, he has had really good walls, and he has always consistently had 3 queens, so this should be defended, and it is. Just very nice building placement, but the last DBZ, there was no banelings in the counterattack. Now there are banelings in the counterattack, but he's just going to actually give up. He does not want to try and break through the wall. He is droning up behind this, so this is just to scare Pulse a little bit, but Pulse is not scared at all. He's still droning, getting his overlords, getting an Evo chamber as well. And his Roach Run is successfully finished, or has successfully finished, that is. Correct grammar is pretty good. No queen here, though, so his injects aren't going to be quite as good as Roman, which could play a part later on in the game. Lair coming up for Roman right now, but only 1 gas. That's unusual. There he goes, finally getting all 4 gases. He's probably going to go for the Mutalisk, just very early. Lair, as you can see, Pulse not getting his Lair quite yet. He's only going up to 3 gases as opposed to the 4. That's pretty much how you tell what they're doing. And he's also getting an extra Spine Crawler, so it seems like he's a little worried about a Ling Bane all-in. Unfortunately, he hasn't been able to scout the main at all, and his lair is going to be so late that the Overseer is probably going to get in there around the time the Spire is about halfway to 3/4 done. It will be able to see the Spire if he bothers to make one, but not until then, and unfortunately he just has to play kind of blind right now. Of course, his Overlords on the map are very nice, but if he doesn't scout the Mutalisk, which maybe that's not what RomanDragon is doing after all, the Overlords would be very expensive dead paperweights. Okay, actually he's going for an early infestation pit, so that's okay too. So last ZVZ we saw Roach Hydra versus Roach Hydra pretty much. This time one of them is choosing to go for those faster infestors. Now infestors are very powerful, especially in large numbers, but the thing is that if they attack at the, moment where you're kind of weak on the roaches and your infestors are just popping, they don't have a lot of energy, you don't have a lot of infestors, the fungals generally aren't enough to cut it, especially if you don't get spines up in time. So that can happen in some ZVZs. If Pulse decided to make a whole huge swell of roaches and was able to surprise Roman, he could do a lot of damage and actually end the game, because the infestors take up so much gas and so many minerals actually, that he will not be able to have the number of roaches that Pulse does. Now, as you can see, the Lings have been harassing a little bit, taking down the rocks, doing whatever they can to be useful, but now they are just going to be able to see the fact that, hey, that's a lot of roaches, and he should be thinking about putting spines up right now. There he goes, the spines are going up. This is actually exactly what I'm talking about, that this is the exact push, pretty much. Pulse is going for this plus, actually he's not going to have anything, it's actually going to be mistimed, but he's still going to attack actually before the infestors are out. There's not a lot of roaches. He's going to push in. He sees what he sees, and he says, alright, so that's not as many roaches as I feared you might have. I'm going to try and do this. Now the spines are definitely going to finish, and there's a lot of roaches for Roman right now. He's going to try and get around the spines. That is not going to work. Roman, some very nice dancing with those roaches as well. And Pulse, luckily, his speed is going to finish. I don't believe that Roman's roaches have speed. No, they do. Okay, so Pulse was actually the slower speed, but luckily it did finish, so he will be able to run away with at least a few of his roaches. Now the problem is that attack should have done something. It should have been able to overpower Roman, because he went for those earlier infestors, that early tech, and now he has infestors, he has a defensive position, and he has more roaches. What is the economy like? 42 for Roman, so at least he's a little lower on the drones. His third, when he gets it, is not going to be quite as powerful or as saturated. That's what I mean by powerful. And his upgrades are actually even. He has the +1 carapace compared to the +1 attack. And he doesn't want to attack here. As you can see, the roach count, is 18 to 12, so he is lower on the roach count. Hasn't been reducing anymore because, of course, he's been getting infestors, and he's now droning up. So, but once again, the infestors are very important to the Zerg composition when you get them. If you let them get quite a few infestors, if you let the infestors get a lot of energy, they can become very, very dangerous, even if the roach numbers are low for the opponent. Now, Pulse has yet to get his tech. He's currently getting pathogen glands, so infestors are on the way. Probably right now is when he wanted to start them, really, and he has been saving up, so they will be popping out shortly. But because his tech's a little later and his economy is better, he's going to have a supply lead for quite a while, but the tech once again goes to Roman, so it's almost even. If Pulse is able to spread, is able to snipe infestors, then it's definitely in his game to win. He sees the third, he sees it's going to be later than his, so that's, you know, a great mental boost for him. Changeling trying to see what it can, but it only sees what it should. And no Hydros Den for Roman yet, so, you know, without a 3-base economy, you really can't go for infestors, roaches, and hydras. You really have to choose one or the other. At this point, Pulse could start thinking about it, but without any infestors, he definitely wants to put all of his gas into infestors right now. Currently supply blocked, but that'll soon be rectified. And he's going to have +1/+1 compared to Roman's +1/+1, but he does not want to get trapped on this ramp right here. No! What is he doing? He needs to run away. Okay, running away just in time, but that is a few roaches that are going to die almost needlessly so, and he's going to break the rocks, but that's not going to be enough either. That is 5 infestors with some with 2 fungals in them. So that's a lot of fungals. You do not want to go down a ramp against fungals, so actually very nice map awareness and positioning by Roman right there. He could have just stayed, you know, back here and really been in trouble, but was able to get a favorable engagement right there, and his third is now up. He's building spines. Where did his other spines go? Oh, they just moved to the front a little bit more. So, what is his drone count out again? So 55 versus 56. Roman did have that huge swell of drones, while Pulse has really given up on droning for the moment. Only one more on the way. So, it's pretty much evened out again. The infestors really equalize a lot of the roaches that Pulse had in his supply. And now it's going to be a very interesting game of who has the better positioning. Now, Pulse has just popped out a bunch of infestors, so the infestor count should be about equal right now. 9-7 actually, so Roman has been keeping up on his infestors. Currently getting Hydrosk as well. Now that the 3rd base economy is up, he can afford it. He needs 6 gas. He's actually missing 1 guy on here. That's going to bite him in the butt later. But otherwise, it's pretty good. Double upgrades on the way for Roman. That's one thing that's going to also be in his favor besides the Hydralisk. Oh no, the Hydralisk for both, sorry. Okay, yeah, his finish. So Pulse is also getting Hydralisk as well. But yeah, he's going to have a better upgrade advantage compared to Pulse. His unit count's going to be slightly lower. But once again, unless Pulse moves out and does some damage now, he's going to equalize. Now he's getting a 4th, which, you know, obviously Roman sees thanks to that Overlord, and in response, Roman's going to get a 4th as well. And now things have really very much equaled out. Up by 30 supply, but the upgrades are definitely playing a part in that as well. Actually, they've equaled up with infestors as well, so right now Pulse has more roaches, but the upgrade count's going to be a little lower. Interesting enough, he's gotten speed for his overlords. That's kind of cool. Burrowed infestors, but they're going right underneath a overseer, but it doesn't matter. He just pops out a bunch of infested terrans, actually stops the hydras from going in, and he's going to run away. But the thing is that those infestors are dead now. There's one fungal, he uses it, and he did not set up his units. He could have caught all of those infestors once they moved off creep, because they wouldn't be able to burrow. He should have taken his overseer with him, and unfortunately I think they also stopped +1 attack, so that's going to definitely suck for Pulse. Currently at 1-1 compared to his opponent's 2-2, and their supplies have evened, so now Roman in the better position with more infestors and better upgrades. The Hydra's count is also going to be in his favor, interestingly enough, so Roman really coming back in this game. It's going to come down to positioning. Upgrades are going to play such an important part, but if fungals can be good, then, you know, they're good fungals and they can really help out. Now here we go, the engagement is happening. There is a better spread of units, but they're actually not doing anything right now. There they go, infested Terrans popping out from Pulse right now, but oh my god, Roman's infested Terrans are already popping, and what is the unit count? 20-21. It seems that Pulse is actually not going to be able to break through here. He leaves with only 3 infestors, compared to, actually no, they've pretty much equalized in infestor count. If you didn't see on the screen right here, infestors from Roman did come up from behind, but they did also die, so that is why it is equaled out a little bit. But 32 roaches compared to 29. 13 Hydras on the way as well from Pulse, and I like this decision because he knows the Infestor energy is going to be very low, so with enough roaches, the Hydras are going to be those glass cannons. They're going to be able to hide behind the roaches and do a lot of damage without the fear of being fungled, so I definitely like the decision right now, but unfortunately 8 more Infestors are on the way from Roman. So, you know, once again, it's going to be a lot of fungals, and Hydras die very quickly to fungals. Also, Roman is getting that hive right now. He's getting +3. He hasn't chosen a hive tech yet. He could either go for Ultralisk or for Broodlords, but no Spire on the way as of yet. Unfortunately, Pulse has not thought of it yet. He really should get a hive right now. He has the gas. He has the minerals. There he goes, finally. His +2/+2 is so far from finishing. He's, you know, he's kind of far behind. Not far behind, but he's definitely behind. One thing it's kind of trying to equalize with is Overlord deaths. There's so many Hydralisks, they really let them, you know, do something. They have cut a lot of Overlords. He was actually supply blocked at 176 for a while. But now we see Ventral Sacs, that's interesting, from Pulse. Another +3, so he's going to have 3/3 soon. The Hive only halfway finished for Pulse. He's definitely behind. He wants to find something that he can do. At this point, you know, splitting up his army, going in different directions would be the best bet. He doesn't want to attack this head on. There's now spines. There's a fortified position. Just give up on that. You know, get that out of your head right now. He could try and catch him on the ramp right here if he went around, but that would be very, very risky, and he should just really give up. He's actually taken out the Extractor, which is kind of a good idea, but these Hydras will also do very well against that. And the Instructor won't even go down, so that was a waste of like 500 minerals. He gets down the ramp, but you know, there's still a problem. He has his +2 is gonna finish, but his upgrades are still gonna be a lot lower. His Infestor count is, I think, is higher, but here come the Fungals. The Hydra's actually not getting any DPS in, and there go Infestor Terrans from Roman, but not from Pulse. Where are his Infestor Terrans? Nowhere. He's been Fungaling so much that all the Roaches are very low in health. It seems like the Fungals might win out against the Infestor Terrans. I can't tell yet. The Roaches have all died. Now there's only glass cannons, but there is a spine, and Infestor Terrans actually win out the game for Pulse, or at least that battle, excuse me. 30 more Roaches coming out for Roman. They should come anytime right now. There they go. The problem right now is that the Roaches will come and they will just kill, plain and simple, kill the Hydras by themselves. The Hydras have no chance of retreating. Some Roaches coming in, he would want to move those back. There he goes. Moves the Hydras back, wants to keep those alive as long as possible. They're very expensive, but they're also a lot of damage. His +2/2 has finished, and only now is Roman's +3 finishing with his other +3 a little farther behind. Infestors going down, Infested Terrans, only 2 of them, not going to be enough. 3/3 has just finished, as Abstract is saying, but only 1/3 actually, so only 1 upgrade is in favor of Roman, and his Roach count is actually going to be a little low. His 4th production is also going to be camped, so these are going to die in groups, which is not what you want. Now he's getting a little overzealous, trying to go up the ramp. It's not going to work. He's trying to focus on the Hydralisk, which is also not going to work for Roman. It is so close right now. There's nothing else going on the map, I don't think. Oh, Infested Terrans actually took out a lot of drones. Oh, okay, not that many actually. I think they took out all the drones there, though, so he should, you know, think about building some more when he gets the chance, but it is so close that he really can't invest in it. And oh my gosh, I think Pulse is actually going to pull it through. He's down by 10 supply, but where is the supply of Roman? I think it's actually going to be in the... No, it's not in the drone count either. They're just all split up. There they finally come. There's no more Infestors for Roman. One more Infestor for Roman. No Infestors for Pulse. 2 more Infested Terrans come out. Oh, it's so close. Remember, though, he has lost his 4th. Oh, but now the Infested Terrans actually took out Pulse's 4th, so they are on even basis. That was the one thing that Pulse had over Roman, and now it is gone, and his money is so low. Both their money is so low, but their units are also so low in count. It's going to be so close. They've equalized, but the upgrades are definitely in favor of Roman. That's one thing that's going to stick with them for a very long time in this low economy game. And wow, that was intense. Wow, that was so close. Pulse almost being able to push through. If he was able to camp the 3rd, that probably would have been it. But, you know, luckily for Roman, he had just enough to push him back. Now, neither of them have enough minerals to build another hatchery, so they're gonna start long distance mining, actually. This one still has actually quite a few minerals left compared to this, which doesn't have a lot of minerals left. So Pulse, as long as the hatchery of Roman doesn't go down, actually has the slightly better economy. It's kind of weird to say when he's long distance mining, but it's true. And wow. Now, one thing that Pulse still has is, oh wow, those infestors are being very, very obnoxious. Luckily, he has finally grouped a overseer into his control group, so at least he won't be walking over any infestors, unbeknownst to him. But what I was going to say is that he has Hydralisk, so yeah, it's DPS, but once again, he could go around and start sniping those overlords again, because yeah, you know, that's a lot of overlords to try and snipe him down to 120 supply block, but if he could, that's something that Roman does not want to be spending time on right now. Oh wow, where the hell do those roaches come from? Okay, they definitely killed a lot more drones back there, but still equal. Actually, he still has more. I guess he killed a lot in the attack. A lot were still mining right there. So, still an even drone count, but once again, this saturation's a lot better than this saturation. There's still a few more there. But it looks like Pulse is when I'm going to try and attack again. I don't know if I like this. Now, 13 infestors, where the hell are they? Wow. Okay, so this is actually smart by both players to invest all their minerals into infestors. That's really going to help them in the low economy. But the problem is that both of them did it. So it's, you know, it's back to being equal. It's whoever, you know, uses it the most wisely, I guess. Like, you know, infestors compared to fungals and whatnot. It seems like Pulse just wants to leave it be. Now, the reason I asked where all the infestors are, because I see the infestors for him. There's 2 roaches. There's 2 infestors here, which aren't going to do anything. And then they're all here. 8, 11. Huh. So there is only 11 actually defending compared to the 13. But there's 4 more on the way. Pulse finally getting his +3, but that is at the expense of not getting a 4th. I don't know why he's not getting a 4th. He actually has 300 minerals, but oh, his infestation pit was sniped. That was very nice by those roaches. His infestation pit was sniped. Luckily, nothing else was, but neither of them have the economy to go up to that hive tech yet. The unfortunate thing is, though, is that Roman does have 900 minerals. Pulse has a lot of gas, so that's going to mean more infestors, but one is going to be able to get a hatchery, the other one is not. Oh my god, this is so good. Oh, that was such a nice pick off for Pulse right there. And there are no fungals on this one. They're so close to having a fungal, but they're not going to be able to throw it down. Oh, that was the best thing that could have happened to Pulse right there. That's 4 infestors, or was it 5? But those 3 infestors had like full energy on them. That was sick. That was the luckiest. And Roman unfortunately just wasn't looking. He had it like shift queued or something like that, because he should have seen the overseer, and should have just ran away like bat out of hell. But finally getting the 5th. He finally doesn't have to worry about the infested Terrans, so that's really nice. Or the 4th, excuse me. But the 4th is also going up for RomanDragon. I don't really like the spawn crawler wall at this stage in the game. Yeah, he's going to be able to protect this 4th, but his other places are now very exposed, and they have equal armies, so some tug and pull from PulseRate could out multitask, and now he's down by 600 more minerals, so that's all to spend on just saving that one base. But it is an important base, and don't get me wrong, but if the heat comes, it can come in any direction, so I'm a little opposed to it. Now, he still has some ventral sacks, which could lead to some interesting things. I think that's what he was doing. Up there it goes again. Infested. Oh, infestor drops. He could snipe the roach warren right here. It looks like that's what he wants to do. And he still has 1 more infestor full of energy right there. It looks like Pulse, instead of going to defend, is going to be like, alright, I know you have 4 infestors that are not going to be with your army. And unfortunately, I hope he realizes. Oh, he just didn't realize it. Oh, he's not gonna get the +3, but I thought Pulse was just gonna be like, all right, I know your infestors are gone now, so I'm gonna go ahead and attack, but that wasn't the case, unfortunately. He just didn't realize that he was being attacked and had to run back, which is pretty bad. Oh, he catches the Overseer, or the Overlord, so that's really, really nice, but he actually catches the wrong one. Oh my god. Oh my god. Oh, how does that not die? And the fortunate thing is like, I guess, oh, it dies. How, oh, the fungal reached it just barely, though. That was 2 fungals, but that's, you know, 4 infestors that are never going to come back, so definitely a better trade for Pulse. And now Pulse is mining. That is very nice for him. What happened to your mining? Oh, he had to transfer, that's why. So finally he's going to transfer drones. 32 to 29 drones. Look how low of an economy game this is. This is such a good Game 7. Wow. Well, 19 infestors for Pulse. Holy god. And 17 Hydralisks, so he's actually up in all accounts. Except maybe Overlord, which is not going to be that big of a deal. And he's also had a lot more, well, actually just has more infestors, I take that back. Just more infestors, plain and simple. He could actually just throw a bunch of infested Terrans down. They get fungal too, though. I don't know if that's going to be worth it. He's losing so many infestors. Okay, only one. I'm kind of over-exaggerating. Okay, he only lost 1, so, and he catches a huge part of the army. If you take the army in chunks, you have such a great position. So Roman just lost a good, 15 supply to almost doing actually no damage to his opponent's roaches. So that was very, very nice for Pulse right there. Oh, I can't believe Pulse has come back. I actually thought he was just going to die. He was just, he's lower on supply, he's lower in the infested count, and he just came back despite the harassment from Roman. Once again, I don't think he's realized that he's lost his roach horn. He hasn't had any need to make them, but when the engagement comes, he's going to start spamming that button and think, oh, nothing's happening, and he's going to have to go ahead and switch over to Hydralisk, that is. So, Hydralisks are so expensive that it's not, it's not the best thing in the world to have to make only them when you really want to follow up with Hydralisk. Oh, his 5th base is also mining. This is great. Now, Roman does see it, so he's probably thinking, oh, great, I've lost my infestors. I'm trying to get him back right now. This is the last base that I have, and oh, fungals! Oh, Pulse just killed so many more drones right there. Oh, he's playing an excellent game, really using this terrain to his advantage. And abstract calling, it's over for Roman. And unless Pulse picks the absolute worst engagement in the world, it's probably correct. The worst engagement in the world would be funneling his units down here and stopping at the spines. That would be the worst in the world. Actually, fungals, and where the hell did you come from? He's going to be able to take out this 3rd, and he might take out some of the production right here. He's going to go after the Hydralisk, and he doesn't know that the Roach Horn hasn't been made, but it's a lucky guess. So now, when he goes to spam anything at all, he's going to be only met with the option to produce drones and infestors, which is not something you want now. The 5th almost went down. Very close indeed. The infestation pit did not go down, but he definitely wants to make, remake that Roach Warren, and he just hasn't. No, he has realized it. Where is it? Where is it? He's remaking it here, actually. Alright, but at least he's remaking it. He's still up by 30 supply. His infestor count actually has dwindled just a little bit. I think these 2 got sniped up here. So it's 16 to 15. RomanDragon has been putting most of his resources into that. And Overseer is with Pulse right now, so he's taking care of the creep, keeping the RomanDragon in the dark as much as possible until the final engagement happens. And here it comes. There's a lot of Hydralisks in there, and if they don't do damage, and they're going to be kind of useless when the roaches die. So many infested Terrans going down. I can't tell whose are whose quite yet. And there's one spine crawler actually doing damage for Roman right there. He's a good spine crawler, but wow. So Pulse actually takes it. Despite Roman's aggression, despite his seemingly good location after that whole engagement where they were on such low economy, Pulse able to bring it back. So wonderful Game 7. I hope you guys really enjoyed that. I definitely did. That was really exciting. I actually wanted to kind of like scream, but I kind of kept myself a little lower because my parents are sleeping. But that was super exciting. So well played by both players. Pulse just, kind of eking out the win at the end. well, but actually with that, it's actually going to be the end. That was Game 7 of this best of 9. So Team UR coming back after an initial deficit, so good for them. Congratulations, Team UR. Academy team, too, so I think Pulse is definitely a player that they should be looking at. Let's go ahead and train and raise to the ranks. He played excellent games, and I hope that you guys enjoyed it and you enjoyed my casting. I really do. I don't want you guys to sit there and be like, oh, it's the only thing I can watch because I can't be a spectator, and then you absolutely hate me. But if you did enjoy it, please follow me on Twitter at DG Gaming, and my YouTube, Zombie Grub, and my Twitch is also Zombie Grub. You're, of course, watching Xander Fever 2, so go ahead and follow this as well, because this is going to be a lot of the where you are is going to be casting a lot of its games and streaming and whatnot, so go ahead and follow this as well. And thank you guys for watching. Thanks Team UR for letting me cast this. It's been tons of fun.